Grief and outrage across the nation as we learn more about this week's deadly elementary school shooting in Texas. Authorities have now confirmed the names of the 19 children and 2 teachers killed in Tuesday's attack. Many of the victims had to be identified using DNA testing, and all of them were found in the same classroom.
I just want to honor her name. I just want her to be remembered as a type of person that she was. And not just permanently mark or stain her name with the tragedy that happened.
And as the community and country mourn the lives lost, grim new details are emerging about how the rampage unfolded, including reports that law enforcement officers on the scene were slow to move in. We're also learning more about social media posts and messages made by the 18-year-old shooter, and we're hearing from his family.
For everybody involved, I'm sorry. My condolences to everybody. This is something that I wouldn't wish upon anybody. Everybody's saying that they knew him, they didn't know him. Nobody knew him.
Let's begin our coverage with NBC News reporter Wendy Woolfolk. She joins us now from Uvalde, Texas. Wendy, good morning.
Joe, Vicki, good morning to you. Instead of making summer plans, 21 families are making funeral arrangements. And this small South Texas town is just asking for some space to grieve and say goodbye.
Grief and anger slowly replaced the shock in this small South Texas town after a gunman stole the lives of 19 students and 2 teachers inside Robb Elementary School. Residents gather to grieve and remember.
I cry a lot, and I cried a lot today and yesterday.
Governor Greg Abbott describes the pain felt across the state.
To say the least, Uvalde has been shaken to its core. All Texans are grieving with the people of Uvalde, and people are rightfully angry.
During the governor's press conference, his Democratic opponent, Beto O'Rourke, spoke up.
This is totally predictable when you...
Sir, you're out of line.
Growing frustration after this latest mass shooting.
And in this space, I just feel so powerless. Because after we try and we can't get a modicum of gun sense.
But for this small Texas community, life forever changed.
We need to have a voice. We need to speak. Something has to be done. This cannot happen again.
And the people want to be heard. Investigators are trying to come up with answers like, was the door to the school unlocked? Is that how the gunman was able to gain access? Also, how did an 18-year-old high school dropout come up with thousands of dollars to buy 2 very expensive guns? Many questions left unanswered at this hour in the days and weeks and months ahead. It's not going to fill the hole in their hearts, but they are certainly looking for answers. Joe and Vicki?
Yeah, I mean, Wendy, we know it's still early in the investigation, but some other questions revolve around the timeline on the day of the shooting. Are we getting a clear picture at all as to how it went down and how much time passed before the gunman was shot and killed by law enforcement?
Joe, in fact, they are kind of tiptoeing around the answers here. I think they are just trying to remind all of us that this is an investigation that is very preliminary. Somewhere in the neighborhood of about 40 minutes to an hour went by before the original call until the suspect was actually killed. They are wanting the public, though, to remember these law enforcement officers ran toward the gunfire. It's easy to look at those pictures and say, why are they standing outside? But law enforcement officers want everyone to remember they also had to secure the scene. They didn't want anyone else to get hurt. There were other people. It was a fluid situation, breaking the windows so other teachers and students could get out of there. Two important points. Remember, there was a sheriff's deputy who also lost a daughter in that school on Tuesday afternoon, and another law enforcement officer was married to one of those teachers. So they don't appreciate any of the suggestions that they weren't trying to respond as quickly as possible. They have direct connections. Remember, these people who were responding to this school shooting were members of this community. So this is very complicated. They certainly weren't trying to delay their response. It was a terrible and fluid situation. It's easy to point blame at this point, but again, no answers are going to return those 21 lives that were lost so soon.
Wendy Woolfolk reporting in Uvalde, Texas. Thank you.
We want to bring in NBC News terrorism contributor Jim Kavanagh for more on this. He's a retired Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms special agent in charge. He's also a former hostage negotiator for the ATF. Jim, good morning to you. Officials immediately looked into whether the shooter had raised any alarms before this attack, but there is no history of him seeking mental health treatment, no apparent criminal record here. So walk us through the investigative process here as detectives begin looking into his past and his potential motive.
Well, good morning, Vicki and Joe. I think what's been uncovered, though, early this morning is new things about his past, and I think there were some indicators. If we train up and learn from all these things, we can maybe spot them in the future. I call it the tragedy triangle. It's when there's some bizarre behavior exhibited by someone or a mental health issue. And then the second thing is there's some interaction with authorities like the police or the school or their employer that's bizarre, that's unusual, and then guns enter the picture. So this shooter did have, in the 2 months prior to the shooting, he had interaction with the police over conflicts with his mother, moving out of his house, and he might have had multiple conflicts and interactions with police. And his behavior was very bizarre. His dress changed. He threw his friends away. He became more introverted. His friends noticed all these things. Then when guns entered the picture, you know, that's what I call the tragedy triangle. And if we can look for those things, you'll see these kind of things in Parkland. You'll see it in the recent Buffalo shootings. Now, this is just my old assessment from my life in the police and as a federal agent, but that's what I see all the time, and I think we can do better on that.
Yeah, no, we appreciate that. I want to talk to you about the next question I have, which is both the mass shooting in New York and this shooting in Texas were committed by 18-year-old males. A two-part question here. You mentioned it, the tragedy triangle, but there is a profile. There are red flags. There are things, clues that, investigators can use to sort of connect the dots. And my question is, should we be talking about that warning sign and symbols? And also, we did learn that the shooter spent more than $3,000 on guns and ammo just days before this shooting. All of this happened legally. Is there a responsibility here as a society to raise a red flag when someone walks into your store and buys something like that? They're an 18-year-old male. I mean, are there questions that need to be asked, reports that need to be made?
Right. Well, first of all, every city and county needs to have a threat assessment, threat action team, and many don't. So these things are just relegated to the first call to a police officer or a deputy sheriff, and it's not going to be good enough to stop these mass shooters. So you need to have in place in a county, a city, a big city, whatever, at least some threat assessment, threat action team. So police crisis negotiators, mental health professionals, school members, psychologists. They can meet once a week. They can meet once every 2 weeks. They could meet every day. They could be a permanent team, whatever it is. But these people are all schooled in this. And so when the signs pop up, like I'm talking about in the tragedy triangle, it's not just, well, okay, maybe. You can kind of interview the guy, maybe start looking, monitoring what's he doing, talk to him. This is the way the Secret Service stops many, many threats. They go interview the people. And then, maybe keep your ear to the ground that he's trying to buy a gun. Now the triangle's more complete, and you say, this guy could be really dangerous. And 77% of these guys leak what they're going to do on the web to relatives and friends. So there's lots of indicators, but if you don't have the right team set up, you're not going to be able to capture it in time to stop it. You won't stop them all, but you can stop many more. Yeah,
it's the training to recognize those signs, and then it's that third point of the triangle you mentioned, when guns enter the picture with dangerous people, we can see these types of results. Jim Kavanagh, we so appreciate you this morning. Thank you.
We're learning more about the 21 victims who were killed at Robb Elementary School. 2 teachers lost their lives in the attack trying to save their students, Ava Morales and Irma Garcia. One of Garcia's former co-workers spoke about her love for her students.
I don't doubt one bit that she stood right there in front of the gunman and said, you know, you're not taking my kids. You're not going to hurt my kids, because that's the type of person that she was. She was just amazing, and I just can't believe this.
Tuesday's shooting is the second deadliest at a K-12 school on record in the United States. The attack at Sandy Hook Elementary in 2012 was the deadliest, and the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, was the 3rd deadliest. Sarah Lerner teaches at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. She is a survivor of that tragedy. She joins us this morning. Sarah, thank you so much. I know you shared your traumatic experience in the book Parkland Speaks. I have to imagine you relived some of that trauma this week. What did go through your mind when you learned about Robb Elementary?
Well, I want to thank you for having me on and allowing me to be a part of this conversation. When you hear about a school shooting, or really any shooting, it immediately brings you back to those moments of your own experience and your own trauma. And, you know, my heart went out to the students and the faculty who made it out and survived, and certainly to the families of those who lost loved ones. I mean, they were just babies, and it's just so terrible that things like this continue to happen.
You wrote an op-ed last year in the New York Times and talked about how so much more is being asked of teachers, more than just educating our kids. You wrote, we're expected to be mental health counselors, social workers, psychologists, security guards, and so much more for our students. Help us understand, what kind of strain does that put on our teachers and, quite frankly, on our students, too?
It's an irresponsible ask of the nation to put all of this on teachers. You know, we have to be mental health counselors and parents and all of these things for our students, which we do willingly because we care about our jobs and we take them seriously and we care about our kids. But at the same time, you know, we didn't go to school to be bodyguards and bouncers and law enforcement. We went to school to be educators. And, you know, as much as we care about our students, we want to make it home safely, just like we want them to make it home safe. And as teachers, we also deal with the baggage that comes in from the outside, because gun violence isn't just school shootings. It's what happens in communities of color. It's domestic violence. It's suicide by gun violence. So all of that external stuff comes into the classroom, and we have to help our students navigate that as well.
We're a little tight on time here, but in your mind, if there's just one thing right now, and I know there are many things we need to prioritize, but what's the number one thing as a country you think we need to focus on?
We need tighter gun laws. We need background checks. We need to stop the production of ghost guns. We need safe storage laws. We need this to stop, and the 50 senators who are holding this up need to stop being so beholden to the NRA, and they need to do right by the people of this country.
Sarah, thank you so much for your time this morning. We really do appreciate it. Take care.
Well, this deadly rampage is the 27th school shooting to happen so far this year. It is part of a troubling rise in active shooting incidents in the United States. NBC News national security correspondent Ken Delanian joins us now. Good morning to you, Ken. The FBI data shows active shooter incidents have surged to new highs in these recent years. How does this latest school shooting compare with what we have been seeing?
Good morning, Vicki. Yeah, this has been getting a lot of attention. These numbers just happened to be released a few days ago. And what they show is that there were 61, according to the FBI, active shooter incidents last year. And that's up from 40 the year before and 30 the year before that. So they've roughly doubled these things over the last 2 years. And just to be clear, the FBI counts active shooter incidents as these sort of random incidents where people are trying to kill other human beings in public, not including gang violence, drug violence, other sort of kinds of murders, just these kinds of incidents that we've witnessed in the last couple of weeks. They're on the rise. Researchers are not exactly sure about why. The pandemic may have played a role. There's certainly a copycat factor, but whatever the reason, it's a really, really disturbing trend, Vicki.
Truly, Ken. Well, this shooting also is shining a light on the worrying rise in child deaths caused directly by guns. So talk to us about what the data shows in terms of gun violence as a cause of death for kids.
This is really eye-opening. The data is a little old on this, but in 2020, for the first time, more children were killed by gun violence than in car accidents. For years, car accidents were the leading cause of death for children, which makes sense. In 2020, that changed, and the numbers are shocking. Of around 45,000 people killed by guns every year, or in 2020, about 4,300 of them were children. And that's obviously not just mass shootings, that's accidents, that's murders, that's all sorts of gun deaths, but just an astounding number that most Americans probably don't think about on a daily basis, but there it is. It's right in front of us.
Something we should be thinking about, Ken. We appreciate it. Thank you.
With this latest tragedy, Congress is once again facing calls for federal action on gun violence, as we just heard moments ago from Parkland teacher Sarah Lerner. In the Senate, where gun safety legislation has repeatedly stalled, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is holding out hope for a bipartisan deal that could overcome a Republican filibuster. That means 10 Republicans need to get on board.
We are going to vote on gun legislation. The American people are tired of moments of silence, tired of the kind words offering thoughts and prayers. We can use the domestic terrorism bill tomorrow to begin, I repeat, to begin considering gun safety amendments.
Let's bring in NBC News senior congressional reporter Scott Wong. Scott, good morning to you. So we're hearing now that a bipartisan group of senators is working on a gun safety plan. They've asked Senator Schumer for 10 days to try and come up with a proposal. Where is there common ground on this issue? And do you think there's enough common ground to get 10 Republicans to vote yes?
Well, good morning. That question is unclear whether there are 10 Republicans who are willing to join with Democrats in this effort. The common ground seems to be centered on this idea of red flag laws. Now, red flag laws exist in 19 states, including as well as the District of Columbia. They would allow authorities to temporarily seize firearms from individuals who are found to be dangers to themselves and to, their family members. And so this is an idea that's been out there. It's been discussed. Now it's being looked at the federal level. Can we federalize this law for all 50 states? And there are a couple ideas floating around, but there's a number of senators who are at the center of these talks, including Susan Collins, who in her home state of Maine has a red flag law and has talked positively about its impacts. A number of other Republicans, Lindsey Graham has partnered with Senator Richard Blumenthal, a Democrat of Connecticut, on red flag legislation. Let's hear a little bit from these senators directly.
I am always a sucker for compromise on the issue of guns. I want 60 votes. I would like a little bit of time to see if there's any room for compromise with Republicans, but I won't wait around forever.
Talking with Senator Blumenthal about maybe helping states that have red flag laws with a grant program to maybe beef up their ability to stop some of this stuff. So it seems to me that there is defense in depth concept here. Can you keep guns out of the hands of people clearly mentally disturbed?
And so you've heard a little bit from those senators themselves who are at the center of these talks. There was a brief informal meeting just outside the Senate chamber last night with some of these individuals looking at whether or not they can come to agreement. There will be another meeting this morning right before senators depart for the week-long Memorial Day recess. What we're being told is these are very informal, very early talks.
Scott, we know there are 2 gun safety bills that have already passed in the House, but they're stalled in the Senate. What's in those bills? Could they come to a vote in the Senate?
Well, that's right. These bills did pass the House of Representatives largely along party line votes. The first bill would expand background checks for gun shows and for online sales. The second bill would close the so-called Charleston loophole, a reference obviously to the mass shooting down in Charleston, for extending a background review period. Right now, what Chuck Schumer is saying is he's giving these bipartisan senators 10 days until after the Memorial Day recess. If they cannot come up with legislation and some kind of compromise on all of the things that they're looking at, including the red flag laws, then he's going to press forward with votes on the Senate floor on these background checks bills in order to, he says, to hold Republicans accountable and to put them on record.
A lot of focus right now on the Senate. Scott, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
President Biden says he will travel to Texas in the coming days as he calls for tougher gun control laws. This, as we saw that heated confrontation that broke out between Texas Governor Greg Abbott and his Democratic opponent Beto O'Rourke. NBC News Chief White House correspondent Kristen Welker has more.
Emotions boiling over in Texas during a press conference by Texas Governor Greg Abbott and law enforcement. Democrat Beto O'Rourke, who's running against Abbott, barging in to confront him.
This is totally predictable.
Officials with Abbott shouted back at O'Rourke, demanding he leave.
You're out of line and an embarrassment.
Security escorted O'Rourke outside. Later, O'Rourke defending his actions.
Now is the time to stop the next shooting. Right after Santa Fe High School was the time to stop the next shooting. Right after El Paso was the time to stop the next shooting.
In June, Governor Abbott signed 7 laws aimed at easing gun restrictions, including one that allows law-abiding Texans 21 or older to carry a handgun in public without a license. Federal law already allows 18-year-olds to buy the type of long gun the shooter used. Abbott defending loosening restrictions.
There are, quote, real gun laws in Chicago. I hate to say this, but there are more people who were shot every weekend in Chicago than there are in schools in Texas.
The political clash in Texas echoing the national debate over guns. After making an impassioned speech for new gun restrictions overnight, President Biden doubling down.
I'm just sick and tired. Where's the backbone? Where's the courage to stand up to a very powerful lobby?
But while Democrats control Congress, they do not appear to have the votes to pass new laws right now.
When you have 18-year-olds who can't buy a beer, but they can buy a weapon in the state of Texas, that's a problem. That's an issue of gun ownership.
Many Republicans arguing the answer is more resources for mental health and beefing up security at schools.
I can't assure the American people there's any law we can pass to stop this shooting.
But there has only been inaction when it comes to the issue of mass shootings. In 2004, the federal ban on assault weapons expired. Mr. Biden repeatedly called for it to be reimposed. In 2013, after the Sandy Hook massacre, Congress came close to passing widely supported expanded background checks, but failed to do so amid opposition from Republicans and red state Democrats. And in 2019, the Trump administration banned bump stocks, devices which increase the rate of fire for semi-automatic weapons, a move that had limited impact.
And our thanks to Kristen Welker for that report. The Senate's top Democrat, Chuck Schumer, said he will give his colleagues more time to try and find common ground, but he acknowledged the chances are slim.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.